welcome to EvolutionX. So we are on the back end, what we call the admin portion of our e-commerce platform. So the first thing you'll see when you log in are some dashboards and some KPI metrics about online statistics. Now, because we offer unlimited users once the subscription is contracted, you're going to want to make sure that each user has their own personalized dashboard. So if the salesperson wants their revenue at the top, when they log in, you can drag and drop these dashboards to the top. And if it's a marketing person, they'll probably want to see new customers this week and this month, so you can drag and drop those to the top. So very easy to configure. You're going to see drag and drop throughout the demo, and just making things as easy as possible to be very intuitive. So navigation-wise, we're coming over to the left side. You can see we've got these drop-down arrows. So there we see some customer modules. Under here we see some product options, and then you can see some new tabs as well on new features that we've just released. We like to highlight those for our customers. As we've said, we're not modular. We do include all features in the platform with the subscription. So anytime there's a new feature, upgrade, or update, we're making that available. Now, the last part of the navigation is our jump to bar. If we want to maneuver around the different options we have to change look and feel, update settings, create marketing banners, all we have to do is start typing in what we want to see, and it's going to take us to the options that we have, and then we can actually click on those to go. So first off, we're going to take us over to layouts, and we're going to walk through how we would update some look and feel on the website. So since it's just a high-level demo, we'll just stick to the home page. So on the home page, what we're showing now is the layout that creates the different widgets. The layout that holds the different widgets that source content on our homepage. So each of these could be a number of different ways to display content, but this, for instance, is a banner, and it's showing that banner that on our front page is showing right here. So all of these different items that you see on the homepage are all controlled by these widgets. It's just how we convey content. Also allows us to make some easy but very meaningful changes. So the easiest one we'll display here is the item merchandiser down below. So we have what's called clearance items down here and an item merchandiser that we can scroll through. So we're going to take that, change what we're showing, and then move it up to the top. So all we would do for that is to click into the gear that's next to the top right corner. Once we click in, we can actually change the item merchandising list that we're showing. So instead of showing the office supplies for clearance, we could put up something that would say new products, and maybe we want to highlight new products at the beginning of the month and clearance products at the end of the month. So we could change it, change the name, no code necessary. There's some other settings in there too that we won't really dive into, but as simple as changing the merchandiser, which we're not doing for demo purposes, changing the name, which you saw us do, and then now we can actually scroll this to the very top, which would just let customers know at the beginning and end of each month, hey, we have these new products, and hey, we have these clearance products. Do you want to take advantage? So where before we were at the bottom of the page here for clearance items, if we refresh this, we'll bring it up to the top, and now it's going to be called new products. So this is just a quick, easy way to make really meaningful changes on the website and also influence the buyer behavior. So when we do this, it gives us the opportunity to get our customers in the habit of looking for new products at the beginning of the month and clearance products at the end of the month. So it's a really great way to try and drive additional revenue with our customers that are coming onto our site and shopping. Now we have some other opportunities that we can talk about for look and feel, but we'll touch on those a little bit later. Really what we want to go to now is our shortcut search and brand priority opportunities. So in our search abilities, we're built on Amazon Web Services. We do have a lot of their features, but if we wanted to go in and say, hey, we want to shop for, we want to elevate certain brands and bury certain brands, we could do that by specific product, by categories of product, by brands, really whatever we want to do. So if I go start and type in ballpoint pen, you'll see a bunch of options start popping up. And when I click enter, it's relegated me to Pilot for the most part. So that's our number one brand priority. Now, this Port West seems to have been made our top selection for a demo. So if you do have private label products, you can make those pop up number one overall. But then if we go back and we decide we want to type in felt tip, you can see it's going to have, again, another bunch of suggestions. And then Papermate is our top brand priority on felt tip. So it's very easy for us to do this. And I'm not going to go through and create an entire brand priority, but I will show you how easy it is on the back end to do this. So all we would do is go in and start typing in brand priority to get to where we want to make that adjustment. And then we can simply choose what brand priority do we want to elevate or do we want to bury. So if I bring in 3M as the top brand priority, I could say, look, I want to make this number one for all categories, or I could say I want to select a category because most people are not going to make one brand the top brand across all product categories, just like they wouldn't make it the bottom across all. But speaking of the elevating and burying, if we just decided that, hey, we actually don't make a great margin on some of these 3M products, so we need to bury them, we could do the same thing by what we call burying products. So if you carry 3M and it's really only there because one of your top customers purchases a product you don't make a great margin on, and we want to bury that for everybody else that's searching, we can do that. So we could go in and decide to say, hey, for the ORS NASCO catalog only and adhesives and tape products, we make a terrible margin on these four. We just have them on hand for our top customers so we don't lose out to a competitor. And then we would save it and we're good to go. So very easy to create brand priorities. Now, the other side of search is making sure that your customers are getting the products coming back from the searches, depending upon what they're searching for. So a sales rep knows what customer that they are selling to, and they're only going to recommend things that they would likely buy. So if I have a bunch of customers coming on and they're typically school or office customers, we know that they're likely looking for desktop staplers when they search staplers. So we've narrowed it down from 600 items to 110 items of just desktop staplers when someone searches for that term. So we can now say, hey, look, we want to take customers to a specific area of products. We can also make this specific categories, specific product colors. We can lump together a bunch of different brands if we want, really up to each customer. But what we're saying is, let's take our customers to where they're likely to buy by using that 80-20 rule. At 80% of our sales are coming through 20% of the catalog. So we want to make sure we're highlighting, again, a segment of the products as opposed to all of the products. Now, we could also use our search for other abilities. So if we want to direct people to what we call product configurators, we could actually go in and tie these keywords to product configurators or product selectors. So now it's coming back from shredders and saying, okay, before we show you all the products, let's start to narrow down which products you're interested in: strip cut, cross cut, micro cut. And then this will take us directly to those products that fit into that category. But we could even make the decision tree even further. So if we wanted it to be, a business shredder versus a personal shredder for at home, the different sizes could vary. The different amount of waste it holds could vary. So we can make it very easy to make sure that we're getting people to the exact shredder that they want versus showing 600 items and making it a tough shopping experience to root through those. We also do the same thing with ink and toner as far as product selectors go. So instead of showing all the different ink and toner cartridges we have, we actually take them through, show them a couple of options of what they can click, and then we'll give them the ability to find everything compatible with that. So the product selectors, product configurators are very useful. And we also have the ability for you guys to create them on your own. So back in this, we have what's called the product finders. And we created one for Breakroom, but you could create as many as you want. So if we go back to our home page, come down, and you can see that we've got our Breakroom finder down here that we created just by using the configuration on the back end. So we could say, what are we shopping for here? And if maybe it's water cooler stuff, we're looking for paper cups, show me everything compatible. And it's going to show you, hey, we found the paper cups for the water cooler. Here you are, good to go, rather than us searching for a break room or anything else. So if you have 15 or 20 different items, and they might be, searched as or described as different types of products, we can make sure they're all grouped together when we build out these break room finders. And this could be for anything. We could do it for Jansen. We could do it for office supplies, anything we want to do on that. Now, the last part of our search is where we can actually do some manufacturer and supplier co-opportunity campaigns. So now we can talk to our brands and say, hey, look, what are you willing to spend if we link back a certain amount of keywords to your brands? So if I look up coffee maker, it's going to show me all the coffee makers available, but it's tying Bun Coffee Maker to the top of it. So here you can see we've got a bunch of different ones, but Bun is paying us either in subscription per month to tie maybe 20 to 30 terms related to Coffee Maker to a banner that's their products. So then when we click into that, it's going to take us to the deals that we've gotten from Bun because they're paying us for that space. Or maybe they just allotted us a certain amount of margin better for the Bun products as well, because we could go and sell the same type of space and deal to Keurig. Oops, it looks like my Keurig is not available. Somebody made it unavailable, but the idea with the coffee makers, oh, that's what we did. It was coffee makers, plural, takes us to Keurig, not Keurig taking us to Keurig. So now we've got two different brands that we're getting better margins on, or that we're getting subscriptions from to attach their banners to our search terms. So the search is very powerful to be able to make sure that we're getting our customers to where they need to go, but also we're making sure that we are driving revenue through our manufacturers and suppliers as well, if they're willing to pay for that space for us. So next up, we'll show you some tools that we have on the marketing and sales side. So if we click into this product right here, if we decide we want to add it to the cart, it's actually going to give us the opportunity to swap it. It's going to say, hey, we know you love this brand, but we got a great deal on a compatible toner. Do you want to take advantage? So while this price is cheaper, we look like the hero, there's inevitably a reason why we want to do this, right? It's because we want to make a better margin on this. So when we go in there and we suggest that product, you can see we've got a banner, a badge that says Save Big, and we've got free cookies tied to it. So now when we go back, click Add to Cart, it actually adds those free cookies. So that's the deal that we're going to take advantage of. So really powerful. And again, the checkout page is not something that we're being driven to. We want our customers to stay on and shop for accessories and alternatives. So this is actually a fully functioning shopping cart without taking you to that shopping cart. So we'll delete those and we'll jump into the marketing. So now on the back end, we're in the marketing tabs here, and we have the ability to create a lot of promotions very easily. So you can see we've got a bunch of different ones here. We've got 10% off, buy one, get one, free products, some welcome back percentages with a coupon code. So it's very easy to create these. You come in, decide what you want the rule name to be, label the discount, and then you can also set these up so that they're going to start and stop on specific dates. So if we're saying, hey, look, we want this to be a fall deal, we could decide to start and stop it. On fall. And maybe we say that, hey, we think that the end of November is fall, good to go. Then we could decide to select the promotion type. So percentage, dollar amount, buy X, get Y free, or a product gift. If there's a coupon code that would be necessary for it, when you click on it, it'll give you the ability to generate that coupon code. You can also put a limit on how many times that code can be used. And then also we can put some B2B rules on it as well, limiting the quantity per user or account, and limiting the minimum or maximum order totals, right? So we want to make sure that if someone does get use of a coupon code, one, it's not used unlimited, but if we don't put a limit on that, we want to limit the amount per user and per account of customers that can use this. And then finally, we can decide to make this specific to a product group. So where we talk about taking advantage of this is instead of relying on our sales reps to drive everything that we have available incentive-wise from manufacturers, suppliers, wholesalers, we can actually pass through these deals by creating these product groups and maintaining any pass-through deals from our manufacturers, suppliers, or wholesalers. So really easy to take advantage of and definitely something that we'd recommend. And we've also built out an abandoned carts engine. So abandoned carts typically is what we would say a B2C tool, but we've put some flavor on it to make sure that it's not just 21 days has gone by and the cart's been abandoned. We want to make sure that we're putting some conditions on it so we're not just offering up discounts. So we can go and say, okay, let's take a look at by rule. For our larger customers that are B2B, we can put in some different things like has to be higher than a net value. So if we know what our average sale price is, and maybe that's $4,000, we could say, hey, look, average sales price is $4,000. So we think it's got to reach $3,800 before we decide that it's a abandoned cart. And then also, we're going to make sure it has to reach the checkout stage in checkout. We don't want anything before that stage triggering it. And then we could decide, do we want it to kick off a series of emails, or do we want to notify a sales rep that, hey, your customers are abandoning carts. You need to go check on that account to make sure we're not losing them, right? And then you can make a different abandoned cart for B2C. Once we have those created, we've got reports there so that we can go through and look at, okay, with the abandoned cart and recovered carts, do we have people taking advantage of us where they're constantly abandoning and recovering carts? Or do we have people just abandoning carts that aren't recovering carts, and we need to pay a little bit more attention to those accounts? So really easy. Again, you just create the rules, decide what you want to configure, and you're good to go. One of the other features that we built out that I would say is a marketing feature is our blogs. So we actually have the ability now where we can go through and we can create new blog posts with some AI. So we have what we call EvoX AI. And if we wanted to create a blog right on the spot on, I don't know, health benefits of ergonomic furniture, you try and sell a little bit more furniture, we could do that by telling it what we want to blog about, deciding we want it to be very funny, because when robots try to be humorous, it's entertaining, and short, medium, or long, ask EvoX AI, and it's not only going to create the blog for you, but it's going to write it in HTML, so we don't have to do anything on that. So now we can go through and say, okay, let's see if it's creating content that actually makes sense. We always want to make sure we're putting our own flair or style on it, and that there's nothing offensive being written in there, that there's no mistakes in there. After we're done with that, we can estimate the read time, have it create an excerpt for us as well. And then once the excerpt's done, we can actually have it auto generate the metadata as well. So now we don't have to worry about, okay, what do we need to come up with that's going to get people to this blog? It's going to automate all that information for us. So now, a couple minutes to create a blog post, where previously all of my marketing friends and previous customers have said it's hours across usually a couple weeks, because you don't have hours to spend every day or one day a week. You have to kind of piecemeal that time out. So really powerful on the marketing stance as well. Now, we also wanted to talk about what we have that differentiates us from a lot of other customers. We have what's called labels. So these labels are going to drive what our customers see when they log on to our store based upon what segment we put them into. So if we have a customer that's mainly stationary, we're going to show them a lot more paper products, pens, things that they would buy or sell. If we have a customer that does a lot more on the, furniture, or maybe some products like fans or technology, we can allot those as well. But this will make sure that when those customers log on, they see product banners, promotions, and even item merchandisers that make sense to those customers. So once they're seeing things that make sense to them, they're more likely to click on them and buy. It doesn't feel like a one size fits all. We can also allot these to products. So we can put product labels out as well. So if there's furniture that requires assembly, we can label these products to that and make sure that those products are always going to be treated as such. Same thing if we have customers in different regions, we can apply different promotions to local sports teams, whatever we want. So a lot of different reasons why you would use labels, but the one thing we want to make sure we're doing is that we're attributing the correct marketing campaigns and products to the specific types of customers. And we'll talk about that right now as we log into what a customer would see. So when we look at our customers, we don't treat them all the same. And that starts off with the roles that we're doing. So we have guest B2C, B2B, and enterprise roles for our standard stock customer roles. So for a guest role, you might only allow guests to see product content and no pricing, no inventory. And if they want to buy something, they have to submit a quote saying, hey, send me the best pricing we can do on these items. Then you can reach out to them, see who they are, and allot it. If it's a B2C or B2B customer, maybe you limit what a B2C customer has access to, or a B2B customer, you've got their contract pricing set up, they've got all the My Account modules, and they're good to go. So we can even set up custom user roles on here. So maybe with an extremely difficult customer role, we can come in and decide that, hey, we're gonna limit some of the things that they're doing on the site. Like we're gonna leave the add to cart button, but we're gonna take away the checkout button. And that's going to be replaced by a submit a quote button. Now they're going to have to go through an approval process. So maybe if they've been misordering, they're not going to be misordering anymore, because we're going to be able to catch that. And then we could take them off probation after a couple of times of using that product. Now, if we look at the back end, when we do log in, there's a couple things that you'll see. So one, if we look at DB Enterprises here, it's one of our customers' accounts. DB Enterprises would be your customer. So they're going to log onto your site to buy from you. So you can see we've attributed that they're a fans label on that account. So if we go to log into a user, the first thing that they're going to see when they log in is an advertisement talking about cooling down in Arizona, because we want to drive them to fan sales right off the bat, because we know that's what they do. So now we can do that with these labels. Now, if we log out of DB Enterprises and we log into Calvin's crew, you'll see mine's hydrate. So we're targeting that customer a little bit differently. So now when we go into that user, it's going to spit out a promotional banner as soon as they log on. That's going to be related to hydrating, right? So now we're staying cool. We click on that, and it's taking us over to different water related items for the office. So new customer, or when customers log in, they're going to see their own logo, because this is now their buying portal. But when we click on that homepage logo there for the customer, it's still the same website that you've built out and you've configured to be as positive as it can be in generating more margins and higher revenue for you guys, but also being a better experience for the customer. Now, we also have some tools on the back end. So we have rewards. Rewards is going to allow you to decide what dollar points to totals go into what products that you want to be in your rewards. So this could be simple as candy or products that you sell that you're trying to move out the door. Could also be rebates, gift cards, donations to charity, really up to you guys. As we cruise up this, we also have what's called Quicklists. Typically, these are called favorites in the DDMS Plus side. But now you can go and you can decide, okay, what products are we allowing to go on these quick lists, so they can just be easy repurchases. So something as easy as a new customer. If we say, hey, a new customer, we want to give them, let's give them a different type of stapler option for their desk. All we have to do is go in and say, hey, look, I want to add this to the quick list. That's going to be for a new hire. Could choose other ones if you wanted to. Save to quick list and you're good to go. So this is a quick way to make sure that our customers are being able to take advantage of things they purchase on a regular basis, right? Any contract priced items, we're going to have those stored in the system as well. We integrate with a number of different merchant service providers, so we're going to tokenize that information. We're PCI compliant level 1, but we allow our customers to come. We allow our customers to come in, pay down invoices that they want to, and take advantage of a bunch of other opportunities. Now we also have the ability to pull in any data real time, but on the back end for your customers, they can actually come in and now take a little bit of control on the procurement side. So the CFO or controller, purchasing manager can say, hey, when we're buying from this customer or this company and on their website, they're going to require us to enter a PO. So you need to make sure everything's in order before we're buying from them. So helping them track a little bit more and have a little bit more of a budget and approval process in place. We can do address restrictions, cost center restrictions, and all the way down to department level spend. And it's as many budgets as they want with whatever types of controls they want on them, right? So they could decide to make all orders require approval. They could do maximum product and maximum order amount. And they could say, hey, look, we put together the quick list and the contract items. So those are pre-approved. You actually don't need to approve items on those, right? And then we can take it to a further level as well. So really just as many budgets as you want. And you can have those budgets tied to whatever approvers you need. And then you can have executive approvers when they are needing to be involved on those different budgets and amounts. So that really just designed to make life a little bit easier for your customers on how they control spend. So it's a quick overview of our product. The last thing we'll drop on, because we didn't go too deep in the weeds on anything, is our App Store. We are built to integrate, right? So we're best in class, which means we focus on being the best B2B e-commerce solution we can be. Anything outside of that, we want to rely on the other companies that think in that same manner. So if they're the best out there at what they do, we want to integrate to them. So DDS, we do a lot with data and content for our e-commerce products. You see different apps for shipping that we pull in. We definitely recommend getting involved with Google Analytics as well. So really, we just want our customers to be able to integrate with what makes sense to them, so that when they come on and they're using our platform, they're getting the best experience possible, so that their customers in turn come on and shop with them to get the best experience possible. So that's it. Thank you for taking a look through the EvolutionX platform with us today.